Good morning, Betty. Are you still sleeping, sis? How have you been?
Why are you suddenly contacting me? I'm up, of course.
You're up early. I heard that those who aren't attractive need to wake up early. Because they are super busy at work.
Don't be rude. Besides, today is a holiday.
Is that so? I've rarely had to work. So weekdays, weekends, it doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, you know how attractive I am. So I've never had the need to work or get a job.
Is that so? So, why are you contacting me?
And you know, my fiancé is really wealthy. So I have no problems in the world.
Can you just get to the point already?
Can't you tell? I just want to thank you.
For what?
For introducing me to a super wealthy man like Eddie.
As I recall, I didn't exactly introduce you to.
Really? Is that how you remember it? I remember. In the beginning, Eddie was your fiancé. I forgot. My bad.
You really are the worst. I cannot begin to understand why you would contact me to tell me something like this.
It took Eddie 3 years to propose to you, Betty. But with me, all it took was 3 months. There must have been issues in your relationship. And with you.
Is that so? That very well may be so, but it doesn't make a difference to me anymore. I still don't know why you would want to say all of this to me.
I just want to express my gratitude, Betty. I never imagined I would be able to get married to such a rich, handsome man so quickly. You're the reason I'm so happy. Thank you, thank you.
Fine. See you.
Wait. Are you still jealous?
Jealous? Of whom?
Me, of course. Because I'm so beautiful. I know you've been jealous of me in the past. Are you still jealous? That your beautiful little sister found love and happiness before dumpy old me? Are you pulling out your hair?
I don't care anymore. I've accepted it.
Really? I know that's a lie. I know you're really jealous of me.
You're so persistent. I really don't care. I'll admit when Eddie and I first broke up, I was sad. And to let my friends, family, and everyone at work know the wedding was cancelled was really embarrassing. But it was 3 months ago. I've gotten over it.
Stop acting so mature. I bet it's eating you up inside. Lastly, let me share this wonderful news. Our wedding is today. How do you feel now, Miss? I'm so mature I don't care that my sister stole my fiancé.
That's weird. Haven't you heard?
About what? And can't you be more surprised? It was really difficult not saying anything until the wedding day. The wedding you wanted but couldn't have. You know the church you and Eddie were planning to hold your wedding? We are having it there.
Is that so? Congratulations.
I know you don't really mean it. I know it's killing you. I wonder when it will be your turn. If your turn will ever come.
I couldn't care less. It's none of your business, Sharon. It doesn't concern you.
It concerns me. Because, well, I feel sorry for you. I mean, while I'm happy, you're so miserable. It would make me feel a tiny bit guilty.
I know that's a lie.
You saw right through me. I don't feel guilty at all. I feel victorious. Oh, and Betty. Sorry about not inviting you today. You know how Eddie's parents are about appearances and all. They didn't want you, his ex-fiancé, to come, as you may ruin the wedding. So, I couldn't invite you.
It's fine. I wouldn't have attended even if you had invited me.
You don't have to put up a strong front. Anyways, I've gotten bored of teasing you. So I guess I'll start to get ready.
Is that so?
See ya. My sister, the loser. Betty. What have you done? How could you?
What are you referring to?
I'm completely baffled by this. Why didn't any of our relatives attend? This isn't normal. What did you do? I know you had a hand in this, Betty. I can't reach Mom. What's happening?
Seriously? They didn't come? Not a single relative?
Yes, not a single relative. The table for our relatives was empty. A grand total of 0.
That's why I asked you earlier if you heard anything.
I don't understand.
I didn't mean it as revenge or anything too serious. But before your wedding, I contacted all our relatives.
What did you tell them?
And you know Mom. She didn't think your wedding was appropriate given the circumstances. She was troubled about what she should do. So, after talking with Mom, we reached out to all our relatives.
Reached out to all our relatives? What did you say to them?
We explained that Sharon's husband-to-be was engaged to me just a month ago. We informed them about how you stole them from me. If they chose to attend your wedding, we wanted them to understand and accept the situation, so they could genuinely wish you well for your future, even under these circumstances.
How could you? No one informed me about any of this.
I thought Mom or Dad would have told you.
Don't phrase it like that. I haven't been home lately. I've been spending all my time at Eddie's apartment. I assumed that naturally everyone would come to my wedding.
Mom said she contacted you.
No way. How did she contact me?
Mom? You know Mom doesn't use WhatsApp. She always communicates with us via email. Have you forgotten?
Was it like that? I've always lived at home, so we talked face to face. I don't remember ever receiving an email from her.
Anyway, she told me she informed you about everything via email. She wrote about how we're going to cut off all ties with you.
You must be lying. No, I'm looking at her email right now. It says she no longer wants anything to do with me. There's no way that's true. Why? I can't comprehend it.
It's not like a younger sibling taking an older sibling's toy or something. You stole my fiancé. I'm sure they are embarrassed by your actions. You dragged our family through the mud. Mom, Dad, me, and even yourself.
Even so, parents have an obligation to be happy for their daughter.
Mom was really troubled. I feel guilty for putting her through that. So, we decided to use the compensation money Eddie's family gave us. And now we're in Europe on a family vacation.
What? Why? How? What?
And Mom and Dad, they've moved. They won't disclose their new address to you.
What are you saying? I can't make any sense of this.
All of us are cutting ties with you.
Say that again? It's incomprehensible. Just because I got married.
It's not only that. You wanted to marry my fiancé. Don't you think you crossed a line?
Please don't say that. I never intended to do that. I was just joking around when I teased you about your boyfriend's appearance.
Well, it turned out to be a good thing for me to see Eddie's true character before we got married. To be involved with my own sister. He's just as terrible as you are.
It's all Eddie's fault. There's no justification for all of you abandoning me.
By the way, are Eddie's parents okay?
What are you talking about?
You know how much they care about appearances. Weren't they upset when they realized none of the bride's relatives attended?
Well, they weren't pleased. But Eddie and I are staying at the plaza for the night. So we don't have to deal with them. Eddie is currently at his parents' house, but only to collect his belongings. Now that you mention it, he's taking a bit longer than expected to return.
If you don't mind, I suppose it's fine. But you know how his mother can be. I wonder what she must be saying to Eddie.
Hold on, Betty. I just received a text from him saying he wants to break up.
From Eddie?
Yes, right now, on WhatsApp, Eddie's parents are blaming me for ruining their reputation. So, he wants to end things with me.
But you already filed your marriage papers, right?
We were planning to do it first thing tomorrow morning. Our marriage isn't legally binding yet. What does this mean? Could it be that I, with all my beauty, have been dumped?
Could it be? I couldn't care less, but I can't imagine how Eddie, who is a mama's boy, would go against his mother's wishes just to marry you, Sharon.
Actually, many of my friends didn't come to today's wedding either. Eddie's mom interrupted the ceremony while the Reverend was speaking.
Is that so?
Eddie's parents informed the Reverend that there had been a mistake. And they were sincerely sorry, but the ceremony should not proceed. She instructed the wedding staff to cancel everything. But we still have to pay for it all.
Isn't that your responsibility?
I received a text saying I need to cover all the expenses.
Is that so?
Why are you laughing? It's not funny. There's no way I can afford such a luxurious wedding. I can't pay for all the expenses.
Did Eddie's parents say they would pay for it?
Initially, they agreed to cover the costs. But now they've changed their minds and want me to foot the bill. Isn't that outrageous?
It's because they were embarrassed. And you, Sharon, are the reason for their embarrassment. Under these circumstances, it's not unreasonable for them to expect some form of compensation from you. I think you owe them something for what you put them through.
There's no way I can afford it. I'm unemployed, remember? I don't even have experience with part-time work. The only thing I have invested in is my beauty, hoping to attract a wealthy and handsome husband. What am I supposed to do?
How am I supposed to know? It's your own fault. Why don't you plead with Eddie for a reduced amount?
Even with a discount, there's no way I can afford it. I've never had much in savings. So, I'll have to borrow money from Dad. But does Dad have enough in his savings? I still haven't paid him back for the money I borrowed before.
You must be kidding. There's no way he's going to lend you more money.
Huh? Why do you think he'll say no? I won't know until I ask him.
I know. Like I said before, we are all cutting ties with you. We've moved. We will never see you again. We'll live happily together as a family.
Wait! Don't abandon me.
Sharon, get a job. And live your own life. Never contact me again. Goodbye, you deceitful, heartless loser. Sharon expressed her remorse and requested Eddie to consider reducing the payment she owed. Unfortunately, Eddie's mother declined her plea, refusing to accommodate her request. Consequently, Sharon was left with no choice but to bear the entire financial burden of the wedding expenses. To make matters worse, she faced a lawsuit for the exact amount incurred during the wedding. As a consequence, Eddie promptly evicted her from his apartment the very next day. In order to settle the wedding debt, Sharon resorted to taking out a loan. Simultaneously, she embarked on a job hunt, specifically seeking opportunities that included accommodation. However, due to her limited work experience, she encountered difficulties in securing employment. Consequently, given her sole asset of physical attractiveness, Sharon reluctantly accepted a position as an escort.